All right, so I think at least half of you were here Monday, so this will be a decent review. Let's get everybody like right here, if that's okay, just so I can try to show the technique to one side. Um, so a little bit of review mixed with now the defense for it. What's up, man? So first off, just reviewing that snap down from Mondays. Okay, so we're in our closed stance, right? And I want everybody. This is a quick review. Most of you already did this. If you didn't do this, make sure you're partnering with someone who did do this Monday, because most of you did. So that way we can kind of flow through this pretty quick. So I want to get to the defensive side of this. But I want everybody to get 3 minutes apiece of this. So first things first, we're going to be in a good stance. I'm going to make sure we're matching head level. First thing we're going to do is we're always going to protect our lead leg. So I'm not just going to go reaching for this guy because he can just duck under and shoot a single on me immediately. I'm going to protect my lead leg. I'm going to take a thumb pose. Now, he's likely going to grab the elbow. He might not, but that's a common reaction. Next thing we're going to do is, now that I have a thumb post here, I have something to manage distance. Now it's safe for me to start making my second point of contact for that collar tie. All right, next thing I want to be able to do is I want to start driving into the guy. So this thumb post is going to become a bicep tie. I'm going to start driving in. I'm looking for that reaction. As soon as he's reacting back, my hand comes up to the crown of the head. I don't want to snap down from the neck. I want to snap down from the crown. And then I want to guide him down as I kick my lead leg back. I want to guide him down to where, think guiding where my knee is right now. Okay, so I'm going to kick my leg back and I'm going to pull him down for the snap down. There it is right there. And then we're just looking to grab our front head level. All right. And guy on bottom, go ahead and 4-point up. Welcome. This is where I want you to end. This is 4-point stance. All right. Just right there. And then reset. All right. Any questions on that? All right. 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, you should also be able to flow through this real smooth. All right. We're going to go into them. And as soon as I come back, look, you don't have to do this fast, but especially starting off, like, get the mechanics down of sliding up and gently. All right. And if you're picking good training partners on the receiving end of this, then like you're not resisting it, right? Like we're getting through the motion and we'll build up the resistance, okay? So that was just review, right? Oh, you're good. All right. So next, let's cover a little bit of the defense. And then I want you guys to kind of go through a flow of like snap down, then the personal bomb, runs of defense. And you're definitely gonna have to slow down the pace to be able to do this, right? Because if I just do a full snap down, like, and they don't get the opportunity to 4-point up, then they're not gonna get the run over. So same thing. We're both weird in that we're right-handed, but we're left lead leg. All right, so right here, thumb post. Get my snap down. Actually, running off your guess. All right. All right, so as he snaps me down, I'm looking at 4-point. All right, if we find ourselves in this 4-point, he hasn't actually got me all the way down, right? That was part of Monday, was like working on breaking me down. But if I find myself in this 4-point where the front headlock is a threat, the first thing I'm looking to do is get my weight off my hands, get back to my legs, right? The more that my weight is forward, the easier it is, and the longer that my spine gets right here, the more elongated my body is, the easier it is for him to just snap down. But as I get my weight back, it becomes harder and harder for him to get me that way. So first thing, we're getting our weight back on our legs. Next, I'm posting in his hip. Right, so gonna a strong post on his bone. Right, I'm not like up here in his belly. I'm not around. I'm like in the hip right there. Next, we're gonna grab the elbow. Now we're gonna look to, all at the same time, same fluid motion. I'm going to look to take a step to the outside and circle this foot out as I take his elbow towards his center line, and I take my head towards his far armpit. So all in one fluid motion. Okay. Again, here, elbow. I'm going to take a step out. I'm circling this foot, right? I'm taking this elbow and driving it towards the center line. And I'm kind of almost like in boxing, coming under the rope, right? I'm gonna circle my head towards the armpit. Now, right here, we might have a counterattack of our Russian. We might get a single leg. We might find his back, or more times than not, he might just yank his arm out and square back upwards. And we're back to square one. But we're not in a front headlock. Most important thing, okay? So one more time. He snaps it down. Here, work on getting back, elbow, hip, hip. Very important, right? So I should say hip, elbow. Hip, elbow. I'm going to take a step out, circle, take his elbow inside. My bad. See if I do that one speed, right? Any questions? All right, 1, 2, 3. This thing, I'm doing it on the outside. Guys, it's going to be the side that they don't have your head, right? Like the arm that's around your head, that's the elbow that we want to trap. Take this thing like
Yeah, you can make space there.
all right. That generally makes sense. Anybody still feel like they were not getting it at all on that? We can't keep staying on that if we want to.
How do you maintain the arm whenever you come across? Are you maintaining it just with your shoulder on their shoulder and the wrist control, or do you have a 3 points of contact with your shoulder on their shoulder, arm on their elbow, and then arm on their wrist, and maintain it like that?
All right. Let's see.
Here, when do you give up the hip post? I think that's
Here. So you're saying as I circle out, am I
How do you maintain that arm right there?
right here?
So you do maintain on their elbow, and then one
I've
on
got
the
it.
shoulder.
Yeah, I've kind of got it trapped. I still got this elbow cupped, and then if I have the opportunity here, I'm gonna go ahead and try to grab this, or I can go in for the single if it's there. Yeah. So
But eventually, are you trying to get to pressure on their shoulder to keep them down?
well, I mean, if they give me the full rush, and if I can get all the way out to where I start circling even further out, then yeah,
Okay.
if they'll give me that.
I didn't know if it was just 2 points of contact, because I felt like it was an arm bar essentially.
I think the most important piece is the most important piece would be here. I think the elbow is what matters the most,
Maintaining that.
and having this like contact here still with my shoulder. I
Yeah.
mean this is secondary because worst case, nothing's happening. I don't feel right. Need to get out of here, and I'm just like it now. But if I don't have the elbow and I come out of here lazy, nothing's stopping him from pulling it out, and I'm just giving him my back. So I think I do need to control that elbow first and foremost. That way I have the opportunity to get away or counter attack. Any other questions on it? Okay. So let's transition to our X-Facts. So let's do. All right. So I want to make sure we're starting to get different parts of jiu-jitsu phases, because we've got stand up, we've got submissions, we've got ground, we have guard passing, we've got pinning. There's all kinds of like areas of expertise in our areas to cover in jiu-jitsu. So I want to make sure that we're covering we're going kind of broad right now, whereas historically we've gone really deep. If you've been here for a while, we're going pretty broad right now just because we have so many new faces. Okay, so all my OGs, I hope you're okay with that, but that's what we're doing right now. All right. So first thing I'm looking to do is we got a seated guard player here, right? Important. We're gonna hit the X pass. It's gonna be an X pass. We're gonna hit this off a seated guard player. First thing I'm not gonna do is what? Like, what's wrong with what I'm doing right now? Yeah. right? I don't want to give him easy access to my legs, right? So we never just come in here super upright. Like, so when I walk in here or when I start engaging, I'm down, I'm starting to match his head level. The first thing I need to do is establish some contact here. So I'm going to look to take a shoulder pose for this particular pass and the outside of the knee. Next, I'm going to take I need to start to get him down and rotated because the end or the next part of this is like getting us perpendicular. That's my goal with this pass, with the DX pass. So I need to find a way to start getting his shoulders behind his hips and getting his knees shot through, right? So for here, outside the knee, shoulder pose, I'm going to start taking a step in and driving in. And then as I continue walking into him, I'm going to shoot my right leg back so that he can't get any kind of contact and start reguarding before I even have a chance to make it perpendicular. So I'm going to drive, shoot, and then I'm immediately looking for changing this shoulder pose down to the hip, right? And I'm not just lazy. Like you saw right now, I'm kind of still up. He can easily reguard here. I don't want to allow him to do that. Once I get to this hip, and this is pretty general for a lot of guard passes, not just this one. Like if I can control this hip and I can change levels, like maintain a good guard here, and I can flare my elbow, it's much more difficult for him to hide. Okay. But if I'm up here, if I got a straight arm and I haven't really changed levels yet, it's way easier for him to just combo his leg back in and square back up. Okay. So right here, we transition to the hip. I've dropped levels and I'm flaring my elbow on the leg to make it difficult for him to highlight. Okay. This hand's still on the hip or still on the knee. Next thing we're looking to do is his instinct is gonna be post out with his arms, right? But we don't care because we're not gonna try to beat those. We're actually gonna backtrack. So we're actually gonna walk him down here. Okay. This inside arm is now free to pommel, get to the head, and now I can start coming back up. Okay. So as I start walking back up, now I'm gonna look to get my knee over, like I'm gonna try to connect my right knee to my right elbow. My hand's still like right here in the hip. I'm still controlling the hip, looking to make my knee and my elbow touch. And then lastly, I'm looking to shoot this underhook through as I take this knee to the mat. Okay, so I'm gonna in one fluid motion all the way across. And now I'm almost in mount, right? Now I just need to finish the mount. I need to windshield wipe my foot. That's still over here in this hip. If you can see, it's still right there in the hip. I just want to windshield wipe it to the mat. All right. One more. See the guard on it. It's going to be at his level. I'm not going to walk in like this. Here, shoulder, knee. I walk into him, kick back, looking to transfer this post to the hip. And now I'm looking to change levels and flare my elbow because he's going to try to flare that leg almost. That's what I'm going to do, right? If you're passing my guard. I love this. This is called a high leg. It's a great way to reguard, right? But we're going to make sure we prevent that. And I'm on a knee right now. We're not going to be on a knee. Like with glove, drive into. All right, now I don't care how he frames because we're going to walk south. Okay? And we're looking to pommel back in, get the head. Now I can walk back up. Now I'm looking to connect my knee and my elbow. Now I'm looking to take my knee to the mat where my hand is right now, blocking the hip. Now my knee is going to replace it, and I'm going to take this under. Okay. Lastly, we just need a windshield wipe our foot in order to secure the jump. Questions on that? All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's circle back up, guys. I'm gonna give y'all, I guess, a glance through to the next one. I don't think we have time to drill it. So I think we do. All right, so now I'm gonna give you the defense of this, right? Yeah. The camera, my bad, guys. So the way to retain your guard when someone is passing this way. So Walker comes in for the pass. right? As soon as he gets here, so before he's able to change, remember I saw how important it is for him to change levels, right? So what I mean by that is, go ahead and change the level. Here's what I can do. Yeah, like you see how he's based out? He's driving into my leg. Before he's there though, so we're here, right? This is kind of good. So we're at this like checkpoint, right? It's not happening fast, but imagine we do stop at this checkpoint at some point in that sequence. What I want to do first is, as he's coming around the corner, I want a bicep tie because he's going to have my knee, right? Go ahead and have my knee. So because he wants to walk me down, right? So I want to make sure that he has way less pressure to drive into my knee. I do that by countering with a bicep tie. Right. Next, I'm going to look to high, what we call a high leg. All I'm going to do is pendulum my foot over. I'm looking to get it over the arm. At this point, I can now remove his hand from my knee and place this foot in the hip. And now I can work square back up with him. And then I can start working. More advanced guys, y'all can start working your other guards, or you can just get your knee. If you're new, all I want you to do is worry about getting your back on the inside so that he can't just like float to another side into headquarters or whatever. Does that make sense? Let's do it one more time. Right there, bicep tie, right? Next. Bicep tie and a shoulder post. Let's have both. Sorry, I didn't mention that. To maintain the contact, right? Here, I'm working my foot on the inside. I'm stripping this grip with this hand, working my foot to the hip, and I'm squaring back up with it. Then from here, I can work on getting my feet back on the inside for all my new guys. That's all I want you to do right now. Other guys, if y'all want to go into legs, whatever you want to do that.
Good, best to go up.
Yeah, I didn't do that very well.
You get your foot over the shoulder. That makes sense.
Here, bicep post.
Watch it.
I'm gonna pendulum this, right? I was kind of being lazy just then. I'm gonna pendulum this up and over, right? That in a live roll, that's what it's gonna take to get this. Like we're just super relaxed right now, but you are gonna need to. It's got that contact. You're gonna need to pendulum this leg over and swing your hips up. Be able to get that. A lot of times I regard just off this when people are passing before I even needed that hip. But I want you guys still aiming for the hip.
You ever done fumbling drills?
Probably not. Yes, guys.
So the guys that understand pummeling, this is literally what you're doing with your leg.
Yeah.
Fight for the inside. He's getting the inside right there. Makes sense.
All right, so what I want you guys to do, we're gonna do some positionals. We're gonna start with this fresh, since that's fresh. You haven't drilled this yet, right? I was hoping we'd have enough time to get some drills in. If you want to do, actually no. For positional, we're gonna go live for a minute apiece. And when I tell you to switch, you'll switch with the same partner. Guy on top is looking for the X pass. Guy on bottom is just looking to stay square. Like that's the only goal. I just want to keep my guard. We're not looking to get up. We're not looking to go to other submissions. Just looking to pass with an X pass or retain your guard. If you get the X pass, I want you to go through the whole sequence. I just want you to get to side control. Don't even worry about stepping over in a mount and all that. Like I just want you to get to secure side control if you're on top, okay? Because I don't want to start creating scrambles and all you guys like start freaking out and now it becomes a live roll. I want you to actually work to single position. So we're going to do a minute apiece of that. Then we're going to do a minute apiece of the snap down to defensive back. So your only goal, same thing. Your goal is to snap down, and your goal is to not get snapped down. And then we're going to do a minute of the other way. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. I'll tell everybody when to switch. But go ahead and get ready for that.